This is Mr. Jacob. I'm going to show you a demonstration for how to do the spinach disc lab. Okay. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some baking soda. You're going to need a syringe, a 10 cc syringe, and you want to make sure that the back, the cork actually goes in kind of tight so it has a good suction on there. You want a hole puncher. You also want some water with carbon dioxide. I'm sorry, the baking soda is going to be the carbon dioxide source, and you want to mix it at about 1 gram per 100 milliliters. Okay. You're also going to want to get some baby spinach. Any kind of spinach will do. Any plant will do for that matter, but I went ahead and used some organic spinach, and the greener the leaf, the better. All right. When you get the leaves, the best way to do it is to go ahead and keep it in a water bath, preferably overnight and cooled. So I put a little cooling bag in here to kind of keep that going. And the best way to do it is really to grab your spinach. You're going to use your hole punch, and you're going to try and hole punch around the veins the best that you can. Okay. So I'm basically just going to punch out as many holes as I can. We need to do about 10 to 20 of them. And again, the more the better. So I'm going to go ahead and jam around these a little bit so I get more out here. And a couple more. Ideally, you'd want to do, you can probably get much more out of one leaf, but just for the sake of doing this video and getting it over quicker, I'm just jumping around a little bit, okay? So I've got about 10 discs here. I did it on white paper, that way I can kind of scoop it and move it a little bit better. You may want to get some forceps so you can actually move these around a little bit better. I'm going to take this, manipulate them in a little bit, see if I can't shake these into the syringe. So I took the top off, and I'm going to work them right into the syringe. You don't have to be completely careful with this, but you want to make sure you get them in there and not to damage them as much as possible. Okay, so I got about 10 of my discs in there. And the next thing you want to do is go ahead and take the backing. And again, you want to make sure you have a really good seal on this, so make sure you use the one that you got. You want to go ahead and push it down almost as far as you can go. Kind of shake them down so they get the chads down. Those little buttons are called chads. Then you want to go ahead and draw back some water. Probably about 3 or 4 milliliters in there, maybe a little bit more. And then you want to try and get out as much of the air as possible. So we're going to bring all that to the top until it just squirts up a little bit. Now this is the tough part, because the idea behind this is you need to remove the air because we want to sink the chads, these little discs, if you can. So you want to take your finger, put it on the top, then you want to kind of hold the bottom like this, like with your finger. You can bring it like that. You can hold it with 2 fingers. And then you want to draw back on the plunger to create some pressure. And as you're doing it, you want to shake it because you want to try and keep those discs submerged in water as much as possible as you're shaking it. And what you're trying to do is pull out that excess air that's in them. We want to get those to sink. So every once in a while, kind of let it go, draw back a little bit. And you'll notice as you keep doing that, more and more will keep sinking. Okay? I'm going to draw back. And you can really draw back quite a bit. But you just want to try and keep it into the water and keep them all submerged as best as possible. And then I'll give it one push back. And if I do this right, they'll all kind of drop down. Do a little bit more. And they pretty much all are starting to sink or getting ready to sink. Once you've got that part done, turn it back over. You can take the plunger out, okay, but go ahead and keep your finger on the bottom. You're just going to have to do it kind of slowly while releasing some of the pressure behind it so it doesn't all come out in one shot. Then take the back off, and then you can dump it straight in there. And they'll sink down. From that point on, you'll be able to conduct your investigation. You'll have a lamp stand like this, and then some lights that are available to you. The only other thing that you'll want to do in one of these situations, when you have the light on here, just so that we don't have any reaction from the heat heating up the actual water and not the radiant energy causing the reaction, is to use some sort of bowl or some sort of beaker that's going to be filled with water over the top of this, and they call that a heat sink. And that helps bring down away from some of this heat that comes from the lamp itself and not cause it to heat up the water and just the light there. Alright, so when you're doing your lab, it's that easy. Hardest thing is make sure that you pull back and get all the air out of them before you sink it. Alright, good luck.